Hello, Rizalians! I'm Jaecee Capati, Rizalite's International Affairs Correspondent, filling in for Heidi Faye Santos as today's host. As we celebrate a major milestone in our school's history, Jose Rizal Institute Orani's 86th founding anniversary and Jose Rizal Institute Orion's 99th founding anniversary, we take a step back and reflect on our roots. Join me as we delve into the rich history of our beloved institution through the eyes of our esteemed and respected guest, JRI Schools President, Mr. Ben S. Gomez. Plus, a special look back on our activities from our 86th founding anniversary. From untold stories to exciting new developments, we'll explore what makes our school community thrive. Tune in as we relate with more people, amplify their voices, and share their stories with the community. All of these magnified under the Spotlight by the Rizalite. Good afternoon, Sir Ben. I'm Jaecee Capati, a reporter for the Rizalite, and it is our honor to have you here today with us. So, Sir Ben, could you please introduce yourself to us?
Good afternoon, Christine. Yes, I can introduce myself, but I think most of you know me already.
Yeah.
I've been the president of JRI Schools since 1996, I think. Yeah, 1996. So, but anything else?
So, since 1996 po, so it's been a very long time. Ngayon po,
Yeah, that's
we
why
know that,
I'm not a senior.
yes po. Now, we know po that JRI Orani celebrated its 86th founding anniversary, and then JRI Orion po celebrated its 99th founding anniversary. So, we are curious po, I'm wondering po, kung paano po tayo nakarating kung nasaan po tayo ngayon. So, could you please tell us about the history of JRI and how it came to be the institution that we know today, and how was it able to survive the difficult times such as the World War II or the martial law?
Okay. Are you familiar with student handbook?
Yes, the student handbook.
Have you read the part wherein the triumvirate were all walking from Orion to Urani?
I'm sorry, sir. Can you repeat that?
In the handbook, in the student manual, there's a part there wherein the triumvirate, the three founders,
Oh, yes.
they were walking from Orion to Urani, right?
Mm-hmm.
So every early Monday morning, they will start walking to Urani. That's about 35 kilometers one way. And then once they reach Urani, they will stay with the priest in the church, and then attend their classes in Urani. And then late Friday afternoon, they will start to walk back to Orion because there were no vehicles that time. It was mostly just carabaos and horses. Okay, so that was how it was for the founders. And now, if you're saying how was it in World War II, I think what happened was that there were no classes. All the students did not have any classes, so there were a few years wherein there were no classes for JRI Orion. There was no JRI Orion. Okay, and then for martial law, I was still very young at that point, so I don't really know what happened. But I think most of the impact was felt by the adults during that time. What I remember was that if you had long hair, they get to there's a barber that cuts your hair, and then you're supposed to sing the Bagong Lipunan song and some other thing. But that's at most what I remember about martial law.
Yes po. So, marami na rin pong pinagdaanan ang JRI. At as you
Yes.
mentioned po earlier, nilalakad pa po nila ng sobrang layo just to bring education, just to bring knowledge to the kids, to the students po. And I think napatunayan naman po ng JRI yan with the recent na pinakamalaking pinagdaanan ng JRI recently, which is the pandemic, which is we adapted and nakahanap po tayo ng solution through the online learning.
Yeah.
Now, Sir Ben, it is said po that a school's success is often a testament to its leaders' guidance. Ngayon po, sir, we are curious about you. So please describe po your journey to becoming the leader of JRI Schools.
Before that, let me talk a little bit about the COVID, because this, I
Opo.
think, is something that will illustrate how we work during COVID. COVID was 2020 up to 2022, I think, and towards the start of COVID, we did not have enough money anymore to shoulder the expenses or the salaries of our teachers. So, good thing, after some point, we all made a sacrifice. I actually wrote a letter to all our teachers, and they thought it was a joke. It started as a joke because remember here in Orion, there's a heritage park named as Evergreen. And so I changed the name and I said, because I'm from UP, so it's Ever Maroon. So what we needed was workers who will do the burial, who will do the all the things that for a heritage park. And then at the end, what I said was that these are all jokes, but what is not a joke is that we will not be able to afford to continue giving you the salaries that you are used to, because there were no classes at the time, and people still need to eat. So what we did is that we all those families who have who are single income families, they had, I think, 20% reduction in pay. All those families with a double income or more, they had a 40% reduction in pay. And this went through for the rest of the pandemic. Thankfully, at the end, when it was all done, we all those whose pay was curtailed or was decreased, we gave most of the money back when we got the enrollment again. So I think that says a lot of things about how all of us teachers and all of us in the schools work together. So that's one thing I'm a little proud of.
So you
No
really
one
sacrificed
complained.
po.
Yes, no one complained.
Yeah, and thank you po for that, for you and for all the teachers po who sacrificed for the students, for their education po. And ayun nga po, sir, going back to our question earlier, can you please describe your journey po to becoming the leader of JRI Schools?
I was actually a little reluctant to be in JRI. I used to be a consultant. I was a consultant for banks. I was doing consulting for Citibank. I was doing consulting for Standard Chartered, most foreign banks mostly, and I was making really good money. So when my father approached me to say, he says, "I want to retire now, so I think you need to be the one to take over." And I said, "What? So, so how much is the pay?" And when he said a certain amount, I said, "But that's not even a fraction of what I used to get in consulting." But how else can I say no? It's my dad asking, so I have to agree. What happened was that I focused more on the school, so I hopefully had some a nest egg built up during that time. My father asked me to, well, he basically said, I want to retire, the same saying, and he wants to rest. And he approached me and said, why don't you be the one to take over? I was, like I said, I was a consultant at the time. I had consulting projects for Citibank and consulting projects for Standard Chartered and some other banks. And the pay was really, really good. As in, and then when I asked my dad how much will I get paid for being in the school, and I haven't been in the school from the time I graduated. I am a graduate of JRI. From my time I graduated, fourth year, to the time that my dad asked me to be the president, uh, I have never been back to JRI, so I didn't know anyone in school. I didn't know who the teachers are, except there were some teachers who were left over from the time that they were still teaching. Okay, so it was so really difficult to say yes to my dad, but considering that I had a nest egg built up from all my consulting, I was forced to say yes, and and that was the best yes for me because being in there, I learned a lot of things from. It's very rewarding, not in a material sense, but in all other senses.
Sir Ben, how did being the leader of JRI changed you as a person? So, like, ano po yung natutunan niyo when you became the president?
When I became the president, I learned, well, I changed a lot of things. But personally, what I did, or a few changes that I first made when I became the president is that before all our adjustments to salaries were standard, as in 5% across the board, 8% across the board. And I didn't agree with it because there are some teachers who will not work as hard. There will be some teachers who will work harder. So we had a process wherein there's questionnaire for each teacher and there's a rubric that we created so that teachers um, get to have more. Uh, if they do more, then they get paid more. So that's one thing that I instilled on the teachers.
Yes po. So, we know po that dalawa ang branch ng JRI, which is JRI Arani and JRR Orion. So,
Yeah.
how do you manage those schools po? Kasama na po yung St. Michael. How do you manage those schools? And how do you stay with the students, the teachers, the faculty?
Um, it's not just me. There's a principal in the three schools, and the principals are there, and they're the first line of defense. So we have meetings from time to time to determine whether there are issues, and the point wherein there are issues that they need to let me know. That's when they let me know. So it's a little easier for me. It's a little more difficult, I think, for the principal.
So, you guys work together po talaga to manage the schools. So, sa tagal na po ng JRI, how would you describe JRI po today using just 3 words? And what would they be po? And why? Using just 3 words po.
I think we are innovative. We were able to do the Google Meet and the LMS right away, and this was and this was not initially Google didn't want us to be part of their process, but we kept on pestering them and saying that it's not really about the money; it's really about making a difference. Um, so- and then I think the second thing is the catering, and the catering is really for the teachers and our staff. Like I said, when we return all the most of the money that we deducted from them, so that and I think the number three thing that is that considering that we've been here for 99 years, it's a really stable school. So there's no chance, at least for the next, hopefully for the next 100 years again, that there's a big chance that we will still reach our next 100 years.
So JRI po is innovative, caring, and stable.
Very stable.
Those are the three words that you use to describe JRI po. Uh, how do you think those three words will continue to shape JRI's identity po in the future?
Um, the innovation will probably be led more with AI. Um, AI seems to be everywhere, and so I think that will be a huge part of the innovation part. The caring will still be the same. Whoever will succeed me when I retire, I will make sure that he will have the same values in terms of caring for the school and caring for our teachers and caring for our students. The stability will come from um, making sure that we don't do things that will be bad for our schools.
So, using those three words, innovative, caring, and stable, nasisiguro po ng JRI to continue to cultivate the skills and knowledge of the students po. As JRI Orion approaches po its 100th year, what is your vision for the next century for JRI schools?
It's probably, well, I don't think I should be the one to envision what the next 100 years will be because in a few more years, I should be retiring. So I will give inputs to whoever will take over. So, but it will be the responsibility of the next president to create his own vision for the next 100 years with just a little input from if he likes.
But ano po, what would you hope or what do you think JRI would look like in the next century?
Hopefully, hopefully we will still be at the topmost when it comes to the selection of our parents on what schools the students will be they will enroll in. That's my goal.
Yes po. And I'm sure that we will reach that po. Magiging top school pa rin po tayo ng mga sa choices ng mga parents po.
Thank you.
And Sir Ben, for my
Yeah.
last question, in light of the founding anniversary celebrations that both campuses have held, what is your message to the JRI community?
Because of the what's that? My message to the community.
To the JRI community.
Well, my parents is my message has always been the same for our parents, our communities, to realize and embrace the idea that our JRI schools are the best partners in education, bar none. We have the best teachers who, despite much lower pay compared to their public school counterparts, and they still do their very best. And throughout the years, we have had teachers being recognized for outstanding achievements. During the times the school, there were times during a few years ago when the ranking of the schools were were published by the DepEd. During those times, most often we were in top three. There was 1 year even wherein we were the number one school in the town. So again, uh, this is something that our parents, the communities that we serve, uh, should get to realize that we are the best school barn. Of course, it's a little difficult to convince the other parents, but hopefully, little by little, they will realize the value of our school.
So for our students, as we know that the school year is about to end, do you have any message for them?
For students to continue doing their best because we're doing our best to provide them with remember the career guidance. That's a good thing that they should take advantage of. If our students are not focusing on their studies, because it is their responsibility to study. Because if you don't study, you lose the time and you lose the learning process. So you will regret it when you graduate, and if you don't do the work while you are there. So please remember to continue to study and make the most out of yourself. Okay? You will only be successful if you do the work. One of the things I was instrumental in making happen is our teatro. Teatro, there was a play that was given to me by a friend of mine. The play was called Rizal is My President. And I think Zeke was one of those who was part of that play. And I think was a huge thing because our students got to be entertained, and more than just being entertained, they learn, especially the actors, to have more confidence. I suppose because you're in teatro, you have a lot more confidence on. So the other thing that I'm also proud of, and again, it's not just me, it's not just my effort, but concerted effort with all the teachers, is that we have a very good JRI scene. So again, it's something that I am really, really proud of. It's the plug, aking mga para lang malaman ng mas madami.
Debit focus sa JRI at na rin po sa ibang bagay sa pag-cultivate po ng mga talent ng mga bata.
Yeah. Okay. So again, I suppose my ending words would be always remember our heroic values.
That's it po, Sir Ben. Thank you so much po for your message, for your advice. I'm sure the students appreciate it as much as I do. And that's it po. Thank you so much, Sir Ben.
Okay. Thank you very much. Hopefully we'll see each other before you graduate. Okay, thank you.
Day 1. Family Color Fun Run. English Festival with the theme World of Words. English as the Bridge of Culture. Day 2. Battle of the Brains. Booth Opening. Flores de Febrero. Day 3. Kalookalike. Field Demonstration. Day 4. Quick to Game. Amazing Race 2025 Rally to the Capital. Teatro Rizalians Alikabok.